Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well. We got another relatively massive Russian missile and drone attack on Ukraine. And mainly the Russians attacked two big cities of Ukraine. I'm sorry, one will be of Poland. That's Lviv or Lvov. So the Russians attacked Lviv, and Poltava. Lviv, Lvov, I will use the Russian, I will use the Ukrainian term, name of the city, is located in the western part of Ukraine. That's the city that I think Poland will take after the Russians will start gaining more territory on Ukraine. I think they will just protect their own citizens living over there. Or maybe not. Why? It's nice to have some connationals in someone else's country, so you can, how do you call it? Hey, would you want to join us? Yeah, we will. And the other one is Poltava. Poltava. The Russians claim in Poltava they destroyed a military training facility or school where they claim they destroyed some Western trainers, advisors, people that train troops. The ones that the Russians said they will destroy as soon as they are sent to train the Ukrainians in Ukraine. So I think the attack on Lviv was a provocation, issued towards, handed towards the Polish state from Poland. Why? Because the Poles said on numerous occasions that they will shoot in the future, it's their duty, missiles, drones coming their way over the territory, over the airspace of Ukraine. And this could be just no, did you shoot them? Are you? No, you're not. You're going to stand down. Why? The boss did not give you the order. So I have you here about 7 articles from the Ukrainians, from the international press, the free press, and the Russians. I have a map where I will show you where this attacks occurred, and what happened. So let's start with the first article, which is a general overview of the attack, which is Ukrinform, a Ukrainian media outlet. Air defenses destroy 4 Kh-101 missiles, 3 Iskander missiles, 22 Shahed drones overnight. The Russians sent some hypersonic missiles, so it's not only this, they sent some Kinzhals from the MiG-31, but that's in another article. Let's read further here. On September 4th, Ukraine's air defense forces destroyed 4 Russian Kh-101 cruise missiles, 3 Iskander-K cruise missiles, and 22 Shahed 131-136 attack drones. On the night of September 4th, the Russian invaders attacked Ukraine with air and ground-launched missiles and Shahed-type combat UAVs. So we have here in total, Air Force radio engineers troops detected and tracked 42 aerial targets. 2 Kh-47 and 2 Kinzhal hypersonic ballistic missiles launched from MiG-31K aircraft from the airspace of Russia's Tula region. I will show you where that is. 2 Kh-22 missiles launched from 22M3 aircraft from the airspace over the Black Sea. 6 Kh-101 cruise missiles from 295MS aircraft from the airspace of Russia's Volgograd region. 3 Iskander-K cruise missiles from the territory of temporarily occupied Crimea, 29 Shahed attack drones. So let's start with this one. Kinzhal's MiG-31 from Tula. Here you have Tula right here. This is Ukraine. This is the border with Ukraine. This is Kiev. Tula, it's from this area. Then we go to the 22M3 from the Black Sea area, and that is in the south, which is in this area here. But they were obviously took off somewhere from this area, but they launched them from over the Black Sea this way, probably by the Moldovan border, so they can hit Lviv, Lvov here. Poltava is right here. Just break that now. Poltava and Lvov by the border with Poland here. And then we have Volgograd. Those are 295 MS. Volgograd are far east that way. I can't go too far that way because it's by Volga River, where we had Stalingrad, remember? Probably they were launched from the Engels 2 air base. And 6 cruise missiles from Volga, those ones. The ones Iskander K from temporary occupied Crimea and from Kursk. So 3 Iskander from Crimea, which is down here. And then we got the drones from Kursk, which is right here. So these are the locations of the launched missiles and drones by the Russian Air Forces. So let's go to the details right now. We're going to go to Poltava first. This article comes from Ukrinform. Russian strike on Poltava. Death toll raises to 53. Now, obviously, the Ukrainians say these are civilians or just people going to school. The Russians will have a different take on it. So first, Poltava, as I mentioned before, is here. Lvov is here. So Poltava by where they can train troops, train whomever, and they just go to attack Kursk or defend here. In Poltava, 53 people were killed and 298 injured in a Russian strike on an educational institution on September 3. Is that how you would call the, let's say, ISIS camps? Or I don't know, Al-Qaeda camps, educational institutions, and training camps. Anyway, you see, I'm just giving you both sides, or at least trying. As many as 271 people were injured, 25 people were rescued, 11 of whom were unblocked from the rubble. According to the updated data, up to 5 more people are believed to be still trapped under the rubble. So this is the first is right here. As Ukrinform reported, Russian troops struck Poltava with 2 ballistic missiles on the afternoon of September 3. It was reported that 51 were killed. So somehow pay attention to this. Even if you are, and this message actually is directed to the ones who say, Emil, you're wrong, Emil, you're lying, the Russians are lying first. They all lie, even your guys, right? So that's the first one. The second one, didn't you notice yet that when the Russians are successful in blowing up something in Ukraine, it's almost always, and I'm saying 99.9% civilian targets? Somehow only those targets are successfully hit by the Russians. The military targets? No, never. Is it because these guys just are good at it? But only with the civilian targets, where let's say, Ukrainians don't have air defense systems? But when the Russians attack military or Kiev, oh my God, all of them are downed. So just ask yourselves, how is this possible? Besides, or on top of this, remember the Russian missiles and the Korean missiles, North Korean missiles, supposedly delivered by Kim Jong-un, the Woodchuck, or the Iranian drones are faulty, are not good. They suck. Why? By ours. Ours are better. Understand the transaction? So ask yourselves, how in the hell they're so precise when they hit that building, but they're so off targets when they need to hit other targets? Just ask that and pay attention. It's a reoccurring event or piece of news 99.9% of the time. When they report this kind of thing, these civilians successfully hit by the Russians, the other, no, we thwarted, we destroyed them. Just for those guys who, think that those guys are the angels, the other guys are the devils. All right, let's go back and try to discuss this issue in Poltava from a different media outlet, Ukrainska Pravda. Death toll from Russian strike on Poltava rises to 53. More people being searched for under rubble. The same thing here. And we're going to go to this one. Now, this is how the Western media reports this attack. We have BBC and we have Reuters. Now, Reuters obviously says the same thing. Ukrainian Military Institute. So Russian missiles kill 50. These guys want something I'm not going to give them, especially a subscription to this garbage. 50 in strike on Ukrainian Military Institute. It doesn't say the Ukrainians claim the Russians missiles kill. Another little aspect for the same guys I was addressing before. when you report something, you report allegedly, reportedly, they claim, they said, the Western media is very good at it when the Russians are doing something. The Russians claim they destroyed the HIMARS, or the Russians say, or blah, blah, blah. But, and that's the way you do it. But when the Ukrainians are doing something, oh, the Ukrainians destroyed the Russian Panzer air defense system or something. It's not like they claim, they say, no. And here again, when the Russians are committing a war crime, right, they say it as a given, as a positive statement, not the, maybe some doubt over there. We just report here. Ukraine claims that Russian missiles killed 50 in strike on Ukrainian military institute. They don't do it that way. They're not journalists in this case. But in the other one, they are journalists. So pay attention to this. But the Russians, Russia Today, the bad guys, and Sputnik constantly use that. Hey, the Russia's Ministry of Defense claimed that. They didn't say, yeah, it's that, or we did it. Sometimes they do. But most of the time, they're consistent in being, I would say, better in reporting this kind of garbage. All right, let's go to the Lviv situation. Or Lvov, new voice of Ukraine. Mother and 3 daughters killed in Russian attack. Lviv, my mayor said. Now, please look at this picture. And is it beautiful? Beautiful people, right there, beautiful. But you know what? You're not going to have these beautiful people like that once they will borrow the Western new ideology. They will not have this guy here. They're going to have someone else here, and this guy is different a little bit. Better, obviously. So yes, baby doll, I'm sorry for you. This is war perpetrated by the big guys. Who are the big guys? My point here is, don't they look beautiful? You're going to lose that one. You're going to have something more beautiful. All right, let's go. Next article. It is, where is this? Right here. Let's go to the Sputnik. Russian forces strike Ukrainian defense industry enterprises in Lviv, Lvov. This is what they claim. The other ones, the Sputnik, no Sputnik, the Ukrainians obviously claim that, and I'm just going to read that just so we are. A mother and 3 daughters were killed in the devastating morning Russian missile attack on the western Ukrainian city, pretty soon Polish, city of Lviv. So this is bad. And this is what these guys say, a garbage guy. In the center of Europe, Russia is exterminating Ukrainians with whole families. Well, the guys in Brussels are doing inside Europe. They're exterminating it, but not with missiles, but with cultural indoctrination and stupidity. The Russians are killing our children, our future. Are you going to say the same thing about Brussels and their immigration policies? Immigration is my ass, you know what I mean. Immigration, that's something else. You can call it something that starts with an I. You know what I is? All right, so let's go to the Russians again and see what they say about attacking Lviv, Lvov. The Russian armed forces launched a group strike including Kinzhal hypersonic systems and UAVs on defense industry enterprises in Lviv. The targets were hit, the Russian Defense Ministry said. This morning, the Russian armed forces, I'm quoting, launched a group strike with long-range precision weapons, including Kinzhal hypersonic complexes, and strikes drones on Ukrainian defense industry enterprises located in the city of Lvov. The Russian Defense Ministry said in a statement. The ministry added that these enterprises produced and repaired electronic components of Ukrainian armed forces, aircraft and missile weapons. Russian troops launched on September 3 a precision strike on the 179th Joint Training Center of the Ukrainian armed forces in Poltava. That's why they call it, where communication and electronic warfare specialists, as well as UAVs operated involved in strikes against civilian targets in Russia, were trained under the guidance of foreign instructors. The Russian Defense Ministry added. So this is the statement. Russian Belgorod, we don't care about that one. Let's go to the last article coming from Russia Today, September 4th. Russia provides details of strikes on Ukrainian military training center. Remember? And you have this Russian missiles killed 50 on the Ukrainian Military Institute. Reuters. Remember that one? Okay, and then unfortunately, I love this family. I like that very, very much. Unfortunately, you should go and knock on someone else's door, and that door is way over the Atlantic. Here, foreign instructors were carrying out instruction in electronic warfare and the use of drones in Poltava, the Ministry of Defense said. Remember, Poltava, right here, Sumy here, Kursk here, Belgorod, Kharkov, just so you know where things are located. Moscow's forces have carried out a high-precision strike on Ukrainian training center in the city of Poltava, the Russian Defense Ministry confirmed on Wednesday. The facility was housing a number of foreign instructors who were training Kiev's troops in communication, electronic warfare, and drone operation. According to Moscow, you see how these guys are saying? According to Moscow, they confirmed, they said. The strike was initially reported by Ukrainian officials, who stated on Tuesday that 2 Russian Iskander ballistic missiles have hit the School of Military Communications and Information Technology, resulting in the nearly 300 casualties, including nearly 50 killed. While the Russian Defense Ministry did not initially comment on the attack, it confirmed the strike in an update on Telegram on Wednesday. It said Russian forces had conducted, and I'm quoting, a high-precision strike on the 179th Joint Training Center of the Armed Forces of Ukraine in the city of Poltava, end quote. The ministry added that foreign instructors have been preparing specialists in communications and electronic warfare at the facility, as well as operators of unmanned aerial vehicles participating in strikes on civilian targets on the territory of the Russian Federation. The ministry said it. So, what do you think? Do you think that, now, is it true what the Russians are saying? I don't know. Is it true what the Ukrainians are saying? I don't know. They can say they destroyed, I don't know, some generals over there. The same way. Both. They can say whatever they want. Now, let's go with possibilities and probabilities. Very easy if you don't have evidence. And how do you figure things out? Well, being around the block a few times and knowing things. First is it possible? 100% it's possible that those were just, cadets learning the art of war without foreign instructors. And again, 100% possible that there were foreign instructors over there. Both are valid. 100%. It's possible, both. Now, the probabilities. Is it probable? Is it probable that it was only the Ukrainians, no foreign, instructors? It is possible. It is probable. Give it 50%. The same with the Russians. Give them 50%. Even though I would give the Russians more than 50%, because I think, based on the information that we have right now, there are foreign instructors over there. And where are going to instruct one another? In the caves, in the woods, outside, around the lake, while fishing? No. It's going to be in buildings. What kind of building is that? That is a military, training center, however, educational institute. So I would be more inclined to think that these guys are correct, which are the Russians, but not like 80%. I would go, 70%. The other guys, I give them 50-50 in the probability. In the possibility, as I said, 100%. So unfortunately, this is what's going on today with this overnight and yesterday afternoon attack on Poltava and Lvov. Now, the Russians, I think, with that Lvov attack, and I'll have to show you again the map, I think that's a provocation. It's a challenge thrown to the Poles. Why? Because the Poles said we want to, Lvov is right here, so we want to be able to intercept Russian missiles coming from here in our direction, but they say as they approach. Well, if you launch it from here and starts going this way, is it approaching? Approaching, so we can hit them right here. So you see, this kind of words that the Poles are saying are just weasel words. If they would say, well, we're going to hit them right here, I say, yeah, okay, that's I understand that. But they won't. Why? Because we all lie, right? And they did before. They lied before. So I don't trust anybody here. So if I'm going to incoming missiles, how far, how deep? And they will say only this way, right here. And then you're going to find out the Russians reporting that actually they destroyed here. and you say, oh, it was the Russians, they are definitely lying. And this guy says, no, 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 we did it where we said we will, right here. So better don't do it. Do it over your territory. The second it entered your territory, you are capable of shooting it down. Go ahead. I'm all for it. And if you have a problem with that, declare war to Russia. It's like in a family affair. You know, if you don't like the situation anymore, divorce. Don't stay over there and start fucking around. And then you say, well, no, no, no. You divorce first, and then you go and fuck around. No, not here. No, no, we're going to just shoot things over there. No, no, you want to fight? Get in. No, no, I don't want to fight because I know that once I fight, those guys will have no patience with me and they will destroy me. I want to be able to fight the Russians, punching them, but without them having, or they having the possibility of hitting me back. You know why? Because I identify as a involved party in the war. I identify, and I don't care how the Russians identify themselves or they identify myself. No, 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 no. Only what I identify myself counts, not your identification. You understand this garbage? I'm pretty sure you do because it's not a rocket science. But this is what they sell to our society. And then you have that beautiful family over there of 5 blown up by what? By the guys who want to spread this kind of garbage. Who? The Russians. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.